The swastika. It is one of the oldest symbols in human history, originated thousands of years ago across diverse cultures as a sign of good fortune, well-being, and spiritual power. Derived from the Sanskrit word swastika, it held sacred meaning in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, and appeared in ancient civilizations from India and China to Greece, Rome, and among Native American tribes, always representing life, the sun, prosperity, or harmony. However, in the early 20th century, European racial theorists misappropriated the symbol, associating it with so-called Aryan heritage. Adolf Hitler adopted the swastika for the Nazi Party in 1920, embedding it in a red, white, and black flag to represent the ideals of nationalism, racial struggle, and Aryan supremacy. This once positive symbol became globally infamous, forever linked to genocide, hate, and the horrors of the Holocaust. Today, the swastika is banned in many countries like Germany when used in Nazi context, yet it still holds its original sacred meaning in Eastern religions. The SS runes, also known as the Schutzstaffel insignia, were a pair of lightning bolt-shaped symbols that became one of the most feared and recognizable emblems of Nazi Germany. The runes represented the initials SS for Schutzstaffel, which means protection squadron in German. This organization started in 1925 as a small personal bodyguard unit for Adolf Hitler, but later grew under Heinrich Himmler into a vast and brutal paramilitary force, responsible for some of the worst atrocities of the Nazi regime, including the operation of concentration and extermination camps. The SS runes themselves were inspired by ancient Germanic runic alphabets, particularly the Sig rune, which stood for victory. In 1931, Walter Heck, a graphic designer and SS member, created the stylized double Sig runes, giving the SS a unique and striking symbol that conveyed power, mysticism, and fear. The design was simple yet bold, resembling two jagged bolts of lightning, and it quickly became the official insignia of the SS. The SS was divided into several branches, including the Waffen-SS as the Armed SS, the Allgemein-SS as the General SS, and the SS Totenkopfverbände as the Death's Head units, each of which used the SS runes on their uniforms, helmets, flags, and documents. The symbol became a badge of elitism, ideological loyalty, and ruthless enforcement of Nazi racial policies. After World War II, the SS was declared a criminal organization due to its direct role in war crimes and crimes against humanity. Today, the SS runes are banned in many countries when used in a Nazi context, as they represent a dark legacy of violence, racism, and genocide. However, neo-Nazi groups and white supremacists still use them, making the symbol not only a historical relic but a continuing threat in extremist ideology. The Death's Head, or Totenkopf, is a skull and crossbone symbol that dates back centuries and was originally used by military units to signify toughness, fearlessness, and a willingness to face death. However, under Nazi Germany, the symbol took on a far more sinister meaning. It was adopted by the SS Totenkopfverbände, the branch of the SS responsible for running the concentration and extermination camps. The emblem was worn on their uniforms and caps, serving as a chilling mark of authority, death, and absolute loyalty to Hitler. The Totenkopf was also used by elite Waffen-SS divisions, like the 3rd SS Panzer Division, known for their brutality. Heinrich Himmler favored the symbol because it represented the SS's readiness to sacrifice and kill without mercy. What once stood for warrior courage was twisted into a representation of terror, genocide, and oppression. After the war, the Totenkopf became a banned symbol in many countries due to its direct link to the Holocaust and war crimes. Yet, it is still used by extremist groups who idolize Nazi ideology. The Eagle and Swastika, known as the Reichsadler, became one of Nazi Germany's most prominent and official state symbols. The eagle had long been a symbol of imperial power in Germany, dating back to the Roman Empire and later the Holy Roman Empire. When the Nazis came to power in 1933, they adopted the eagle to project strength, dominance, and continuity with past German empires. However, Hitler modified the traditional design by placing a swastika in the eagle's talons, encircled by a wreath, fusing national identity with Nazi ideology. There were two main versions, the Parteiadler for the Nazi Party and the Reichsadler for the German state. This combination was used on flags, uniforms, official documents, coins, and buildings, symbolizing the unity of the German state with the Nazi Party. The eagle's menacing posture, clutching the swastika, visually reinforced the regime's message of power, control, and racial purity. After the fall of the Third Reich, the symbol was banned in Germany and remains a stark reminder of the regime's authoritarian rule and propaganda-driven identity. The Black Sun, or the Schwarze Sonne, is a lesser-known but powerful occult symbol closely associated with the Nazi SS and far-right ideology. It consists of 12 radial sig runes forming a sun-like pattern, and its design is rooted in ancient Germanic and Norse mysticism. The symbol gained prominence when Heinrich Himmler, head of the SS, had it incorporated into the marble floor of Wawelsburg Castle, which he intended to be a spiritual center for the SS and a cultic site for Nazi rituals. Though never an official Nazi emblem, the Black Sun represented Aryan heritage, esoteric power, and racial supremacy, aligning with Himmler's obsession with the occult and pseudo-historical myths. After World War II, neo-Nazi and white supremacist groups adopted the symbol as a coded emblem of fascist beliefs, especially in Europe and the US. Today, the Black Sun remains a dangerous symbol of hate. The Nazi Party flag, one of the most infamous symbols of the 20th century, was designed by Adolf Hitler in 1920 to serve as a striking emblem for the National Socialist German Workers' Party. The flag featured a black swastika centered within a white circle on a red background. According to Hitler, the red symbolized the social idea, the white represented national thought, and the black swastika stood for the Aryan race and the struggle for victory of the Aryan man. Initially adopted as the party's banner, the flag gained prominence as the Nazis rose to power. In 1933, following Hitler's appointment as Chancellor, the Nazi flag was co-officially recognized alongside the black-white-red tricolor of the German Empire. However, on 15 September 1935, the Nazi flag became the sole national flag of Germany, a change announced during the Nuremberg Rally. The flag was omnipresent in Nazi Germany, flown on public buildings, military uniforms, and propaganda materials. Its design was intended to be visually striking and easily recognizable, serving as a powerful tool for Nazi propaganda. The flag's symbolism and widespread use played a significant role in promoting Nazi ideology and unifying supporters under a common emblem. After World War II, the display of the Nazi flag and other symbols associated with the regime was banned in Germany and several other countries. Despite this, the flag remains a potent symbol of hate and is used by neo-Nazi and white supremacist groups worldwide. The Wolfsangel, translating to wolf's hook, is a symbol with deep historical roots, originating from medieval Europe. Initially, it represented a metal wolf trap used to catch wolves and foxes. The symbol gained prominence during the 15th century peasant revolts and the 17th century 30 Years' War, where it was adopted as a sign of resistance and independence. In the early 20th century, the Wolfsangel was revived in Germany, partly due to the popularity of Hermann Lunz's 1910 novel Der Werwolf, which romanticized peasant resistance during the 30 Years' War. This literary work contributed to the symbol's association with German nationalism and resistance against foreign influence. The Nazi regime adopted the Wolfsangel as a symbol of Aryan heritage and resistance. It was used by various Nazi organizations and military units, including the 2nd SS Panzer Division Das Reich, the 4th SS Polizei Panzergrenadier Division, and the 34th SS Volunteer Grenadier Division Landstorm Nederland. Additionally, it was featured in the emblem of the Dutch Nazi Party and the Nazi guerrilla movement Werwolf, which aimed to resist Allied occupation. After World War II, the Wolfsangel became a banned symbol in Germany due to its association with Nazism. However, it has been adopted by neo-Nazi and far-right groups worldwide, including the Aryan nations in the United States. Its simplicity and historical associations make it a potent symbol for these groups, often used in graffiti and tattoos as a marker of extremist ideology. The Odal Rune, also known as the Odal Rune, is a symbol with deep historical roots in Germanic and Norse cultures. In ancient times, it represented concepts such as inheritance, ancestral property, and familial heritage. The rune was associated with the Old Norse word Odal, meaning heritage or ancestral estate, and was used in runic inscriptions to denote land ownership and family lineage. In the early 20th century, the rune was appropriated by Nazi Germany as part of their ideological framework. The Nazis adopted the Odal Rune to symbolize their concept of Blut und Boden, a German translation for blood and soil, which emphasized the connection between the German people and their ancestral land. The symbol was used by various Nazi organizations, including the 7th SS Volunteer Mountain Division Prinz Eugen and the SS Race and Settlement Main Office, to promote ideas of racial purity and territorial expansion. After World War II, the Odal Rune continued to be used by neo-Nazi and far-right groups as a symbol of Aryan heritage and resistance against perceived threats to their identity. It has been adopted by various organizations and movements, including the National Socialist Movement in the United States, which replaced the swastika with the Odal Rune to present a more palatable image to the public. Today, the Odal Rune is recognized as a hate symbol by organizations such as the Anti-Defamation League and is banned in Germany under laws restricting Nazi symbols. Despite its historical significance, the rune's association with Nazi ideology has overshadowed its original meaning, leading to its use as a symbol of hate and extremism in modern times.